Welcome back to Grit Gym. Turning up the music on this there. Turning up the volume on this thing. Welcome back to Grit Gym. This is actually Grit Gym headquarters. This is the office. This is a little bit better internet to do here. But anyway, we haven't done the show in a few days. That's because I've been in a continuing education, which you guys don't know. I am ruthless in the area of continuing education. I'm an extremely curious person. I'm constantly asking questions, constantly asking, how can we make things better? How can we make things better? How can we make things better? And what I've found is that I have never gone wrong investing in me. Okay? And I think the same goes for you too. The best investment that you can possibly make. I mean, I get in conversations about money every once in a while because people ask me about business and things like that. People are asking, like, what do you think the best investment is? And sometimes I'll get in a conversation with a financial advisor. But financial advisors are hilarious. They're poor. They make less money than you, have no clue what they're doing with it, but yet they're going to advise you on what you're going to do with your money. But the only investment, the best investment, the number one investment that you can make is you. You are your number one investment. This is like health, exercise, mindset, nutrition, recovery, mindset. Man, why would you not invest in these things? You got four great resources, right? We all have four great resources. We got health, wealth, relationships, time. The greatest of those is obviously health. You're not going to be able to enjoy your money, you're not going to be able to experience your relationships, and you're not going to enjoy your time whatsoever if you do not have your health. However, your relationships are extremely important. Your time is extremely important. Your wealth is extremely important. These are all things that we think are taboo to talk about. But what are you going to spend your money on? Where are you going to put your money where it's going to pay you back? No way. There's no way that it can't pay you back. And there's no way that it can ever be stripped from you. Where are you going to pay that money? Where are you going to put that money? You're going to put it back in you. I had a friend in college. He actually just liked this. I remember the story he told me. I think it was his uncle. Yeah, his name is Kyle Shear. No one calls him Kyle. I don't call him Kyle. Not no one. I don't call him Kyle. I call him Shear. So Shear gets his education, and his uncle or somebody close to him says, "This is something no one can ever take away from you. They can take your house, they can throw you in jail, they cannot take your education away from you. What you invest in you, no one can take away from that." That's why I go and do continuing educations. I spend every dime I have on making me better, because the better I make me, the better everybody else is around me. Okay, the better my relationships are, the better I am at my job, the better I am with my time, the better I am with my family, the better man I am. You cannot go wrong investing in you. And that's why you need to get your butt into Grit Gym. You're only limited by the number of investments that you're willing to make in yourself. You need to get into Grit Gym. But so that's where I was this weekend. So Friday and Monday we missed the show. I hope you guys missed this. Did you miss this? I don't know. Comment below if you did. But it was a great time. It was down in Miami. Learned a ton of stuff. Head is still spinning. I got a lot of notes to try to dig through. I showed Rachel my notes. I said, "Look at this. Look at this stack of papers." Do I even have them here? I do. Look at this. Look at this stack of papers. I mean, I almost filled up this entire half of this legal pad. Literally half of this legal pad is filled with notes. It's amazing. It's amazing. You get around the right people, minds blow up. Proximity to power. So what are we going to talk about today? We have about 24 minutes left. You guys think that I can get today's talk in under 24 minutes? You tell me. But also, if you guys have a local guest, anybody that you know that could come on, that wants to come on the show, I would love to have them. Anybody who really likes this social media stuff, wants to talk on social media, wants to promote something, I don't care. Let them know. I'm looking to have a conversation with them. But we're kind of on this topic of health, and if you guys haven't noticed, everything revolves around health for me. So I'm in these conversations down there outside of this conference, like on the plane and this stuff. We're talking about health. You guys have no idea how often I hear of the horror stories around health. Not just it's very rarely a personal story that someone is telling where it's a first-hand story. Usually it's a second-hand story that somebody is telling me about their mom, their dad, their uncle, somebody it's usually older than them, And that's where this topic really started, because I hear this all the time. My dad died, my mom died. I had to move my parent to what do you call them? Care centers, nursing homes, assisted living, whatever the correct political term is for these now. I had to move them to these places. And I'm like, why do you work out? I work out so that so that my kids never have to go through what I went through with my parents, putting them into that thing, because I never want to end up in one of those places. That's why so that's what the topic of this particular show is about. It's about being selfish. And I'm not talking, there's a good kind of selfish and a bad kind of selfish, right? There's the good kind of selfish where you take responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, actions, and behaviors, and you don't allow someone else to put the responsibility of their own responsibility of their thoughts, feelings, actions, behavior on you. Those are theirs, and these are mine. That's a good kind of selfish, right? That's like, hey, I'm going to be powerful in this moment because I am responsible for my thoughts, feelings, actions, behaviors. I'm responsible for my health. I'm responsible for everything in my life. I'm not responsible for somebody else's. Okay, there was something like that with one of the speakers that was down there said, whatever you guys go back and do with this, I do not care. And the whole room erupted. It was just like, how can you say that? How can you say that you don't care? And I talked with him afterwards. I was like, what was that all about? Why was everybody? And he goes, I don't know. And we started talking about it, and we came to the conclusion it was about what he was saying was he's not responsible for what you go back and do. You are ultimately responsible for what you do. Like, I can teach you everything that I know. It's up to you what you do with it. Now, I had that coach in high school that used to say that to me. He'd say, Adam, I'll give you the keys. It's up to you what you do with them. I cannot agree more with that. That's actually in the book. But in The Cost of Courage, the book that's about to come out, I am almost done with this book. Okay, we're gonna put it on pre-order before it actually goes out. And you know what? I'm thinking about giving this book away for free. I've done all of this work on it. I don't think anybody makes any money off of a book anyway. I just want people to have it. I want people to read it. I want to give it away for free. I'm dead serious. If you guys disagree with that, write down below. If you agree, I should just give it away for free. Because nothing's free. Because what the book is going to call you to do is to put in work. That's not going to be free. Okay? It's also going to take work to read through that book. Not because it's a hard read, but because it's going to be a challenging read. It's going to challenge your mindset. Okay? So you want to get into that, but this is a hard subject for me to actually even talk about. Okay? Can you tell that I'm avoiding it yet? It's a hard subject to talk about because it's hard to throw things in people's faces when they're not, whether they're ready for them or not. Okay? And the deal is, if you do not take care of your health, you are the most negatively selfish person in your space. To not take care of your health is absolutely as selfish as it gets in a negative way. Not the good kind of selfish, the bad kind of selfish. I don't even know if I believe in a good and bad, but it is selfish to not exercise. It is selfish to not eat well. It is selfish to not try to get to a healthy weight. It is extremely selfish. You got to think about this. What implications are you putting on those around you, those people that you care about? You know, who's going to pay for your health someday? Because it's not just going to be you. You are not the one you are not the only one that's going to pay for your health. Your kids are going to pay for your health because you can't play with them the way that you should be playing with them because you don't have the energy, you don't have the mobility, you don't have the strength, you don't have the speed to be able to keep up with them. You just paid for that experience and your kids paid for that experience. Your family someday, when you run out of money and you can't pay for that assisted living, is going to have to pitch in and they're going to have to deal with you. You are selfish if you do not take care of your health. You are the most selfish person. To not take care of your health is the most selfish thing that you can do in your life because it is the greatest resource in life. And the second that it starts getting taken away from you, the second you start losing out on little experiences throughout your day, throughout your life, you are taking away from all of the people around you. When you settle for less, when you lower your greatness, when you do not take responsibility for the responsibility that is yours, you are being selfish. It is the most selfish thing to not take care of your health. And it's harder to not take care of your health than it is to take care of it. This is one of those things that blows my mind. It is harder to get fat, old, and weak than it is to go to the gym. To eat. It's harder to get fat, old, and weak than it is to eat well. You know, it's easier, or it's harder to stay home. It's easier to go to the gym than to stay home. I'm dead serious. Like some people will say, for instance, it's harder to relax than it is to exercise. I guarantee you, you are better at exercise than you are at relaxing. Because you don't get one without the other, for one, and people are just inherently not very good at relaxing. They think that they're good at it, but they're not. And you just don't do it. So why? Why would I say this stuff? Like, why would working out be easier than sitting on a couch? I guarantee you it is. And a lot of people will say, like, I've been in this conversation before where I'm like, that's selfish, man. That's selfish to not take care of your health. And they're like, no, it's selfish to have an expensive gym membership. And I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. No, it's not. It's selfish to not take care of your health. Someone is going to pay for it. And that someone is not just going to be you. You're sacrificing everybody else's experience that has a relationship with you. Plus, when somebody says, well, I don't need to be all ripped up. I don't need to be all big and muscly. Well, like, for one, I'm not big and muscly. For two, I'm not super ripped up. I'm at a healthy weight. I'm at healthy strength. Okay? You don't have to be all ripped up. No one's asking you to do that. And you don't even know what you're talking about. You've never been there. You don't know what it's like. You have no clue. And plus, you're talking about yourself again. You're selfish. You are so selfish for not putting yourself out there, for not doing something that you're scared of. If you do not have the ability to confront, plus, which you do, you have the ability to confront. But if you succumb to that fear, you are selfish. You're gonna pay for it. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. Like, how are you gonna throw your grandkids up over the top of your head if you don't come to the gym and work out? You're not gonna be able to keep that strength. It erodes as we age. It just keeps on going down and down and down. Your body just ages. It's what it does. Eventually, it just kind of happens. You can stay strong. You can eat really well. You can do a lot of the strategies. You can sleep well. You can have a steady mind. You can work on your wealth so that you're not so stressed out all the time. You can have quality relationships. You can become a master of time. And you're probably going to have more quality experiences in your life. You're going to fit more experiences into the years that you do have. But if you don't, you're selfish. You're going to be immobile. You're not going to be like, you're going to go on a cruise and you're not going to be able to walk to the other end of the cruise ship because you never exercised. You're going to go try to explore out in the wilderness or try to explore another country and you're not going to be able to because you were too selfish to get your ass to the gym. You're going to pay for it somehow. You're going to pay for it through doctors. You're going to pay through it through assisted living. You're going to pay for it in the experiences that you don't get to have. You're going to pay for it somehow. You are being selfish to not come to the gym, and you're just going to be a dead weight to all the people around you. When you exercise, you're vibrant. When you get some mindset more in line with how you want to be living your life, you are living your life with your purpose. You are on fire. Okay? For instance, I don't like doing these videos. I don't. There's nothing about these that I like. I get kind of weirded out right before I do them. I'm like, oh my God, am I really going to sit here and preach to these people and sound like I'm going to judge them? That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is inspire you to experience your life the way you want to live it. And what I'm really trying to do is encourage you to inspire your own experience in this life. Right? That's what you deserve. You deserve to have this. You should not be sitting at home going, oh man, I really wish I could go to the gym. I'm just going to buy this DVD and do it in my living room. Or I'm going to run around the block in the morning at 4 a.m. so that nobody sees me. You can work out, like the reason that you go to someone like me is so that you don't have to fall to all the pitfalls that everybody's going to go through. Okay? You go to the person who's the leader in the space to be around its proximity to power. You get around someone like me and you're more likely to get to your goal because I'm courageous. Like, you get around someone like me, you get around someone that's like courageous in their own life, and all of a sudden your courage grows. You grow yourself to their level. You level up. Especially you got to get around people who aren't willing to come down to your level. So most of the time you commiserate. You find somebody that's around your same level and you just commiserate. You commiserate. That's selfish. It is selfish to sit around and complain with people. Oh, I'm just so fat. I just like, yeah, you're so fat. I'm so fat too. Why you're eating your shitty McDonald's or whatever, Subway. Why you're eating Subway? You go to Subway to try to be healthier. That didn't work. Subway sucks. But think of the experiences that you get in this life. You only get so many of them. Like, for instance, I'm 32 years old. In the last 2 weeks, all I can think about is I'm 32 years old. and I'm not even 1/10 of the way. I'm not even in the ballpark of where of what I wanted to accomplish by now. That bugs me. That bugs me, and it should bug you too. It should be a wake-up call. Okay, that's what One Life was about. That's what the One Life Planner. I got one around here somewhere. I was just filling it out. The One Life Planner. I was just reading it. That's what it is about. It's about wake up. Like, maybe you get one life. Maybe you only get one life in your worm food. Maybe you live in eternity. Maybe you get to live one life over and over and over again. It's still one life, no matter how you want to look at it. You still get one life right here, right now. Okay? So that's what this is about. It's about a wake up. You write your goals first thing in the morning, and you write your goals the last thing at night. You write your targets first thing in the morning, and you write your successes later at night. You got to get something to pump you up. You got to get something to get you focused. Okay? Like doing something like this, like most people are like, well, that takes you 15 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes. It doesn't ever take me 15 minutes. It takes me 5 minutes. It takes me 5 minutes every morning. And someone's like, well, that's 5 minutes that I could be having with my kid. That's selfish. Okay? That 1 hour of reading that I talk about, a 1 hour study every day, well, that's selfish. No. It is selfish to not do the reading. It is selfish to not do this. It is selfish to not go to the gym. It is selfish to not chase your goals. What are you teaching the people in your space by not going after your goals? What are you teaching them? Think about it. You're influencing them to not go after their goals. Why would you want to do that? Courage breeds courage. Like people are going to level up to you, and they're going to win out. It's going to be amazing. But you got to have the guts to start. So you got to think about this. What are you missing out on because you're not in the shape that you want to be? What are you missing out on by gaining an injury from a bad workout? What are you missing out on by not having the guts to show up to a gym? What are you missing out on? You got to ask yourself, is it serving you? Okay. After you do that, after you say, what am I missing out on? Then you got to go, is this thing serving me? Okay. Does it serve me to eat this crappy meal? Does it serve me to not go work out? Does it serve me to watch this movie? Do you know that the average American watches 4.5 hours of TV per day? Per day, not per week, per day. 4.5 hours. How in the world do you do that? That's an average. That means like a heavy number of them have to, like at least half, right? Isn't that how math works? Half have to be consuming more than that. Yeah. CNN, ABC, MSNBC, Fox, you got ESPN, you got everybody's in love with all these stations, and they're all like, well, I'm informed. No, you no, you just had a bunch of puke shoved down your all over you for however many times. That's all the media is. It's just like, it's entertainment. They're trying to entertain you to keep on watching. They're giving you a play-by-play on something that doesn't matter. Like it doesn't affect anything. It's bogus. It's crap. And you're putting it in your mind. You're putting all this negative stuff in your mind, and it's causing you to not chase after your goals. Sitting around watching TV is selfish. Okay? And not in the good way. To not take care of your health is the most selfish thing you can possibly do. Okay? So that's the big thing. That's the big thing I want to get across in this is like, who's going to deal with your dead weight? Who's going to pay for your assisted living? Who's going to take you to the hospital? Who's going to play with your kids if you're not going to play with your kids? Who's going to run around with them? Who's going to teach them how to run? Who's going to teach them, good examples of living? Because they're going to live how you're going to live. They're going to be carbon copies of you and the other person that's raising them. If there's two, maybe there's four. I don't know, but they're going to be carbon copies of that. What do you want them to be? What do you want them to be? It is much harder to go on vacation than it is to exercise. It is much harder to relax than it is to exercise. Much harder to sit on the couch and not do anything than it is to exercise. I guarantee you. I guarantee you that it's easier to go to the gym than it is to stay the same. It's easier to change than it is to stay the same. It's less. It's a bit. I know you know what you're going to get with the one. By not changing, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get disappointment. Why would you want that? Why would you want to guarantee yourself the disappointment of? You already know the answer. You know what you're going to get if you sit around. Nothing. You don't know what you're going to get if you chase your dreams. What would be the point in not taking the chance? It doesn't make any sense. To not exercise is the most selfish thing on earth. To not eat right, To not take care, well, let me rephrase that. To not take care of your health is the most selfish thing on earth. And half the time, people don't even know what they're talking about. They're like, well, I don't need to be all ripped up. I don't need to be strong. I don't need to lift heavy weights. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to run up a flight of stairs and feel weightless. Maybe you don't even remember what it's like to walk into a clothing store and try on regular clothes. That's not judgment. That's just what I hear on a daily basis. You might not know what it's like to blow dry your hair and not feel your arm flap around. I hear that one all the time. I usually hear that one in the first 6 weeks of people working out with me. I blow dried my hair and my arm doesn't flap around. I can go into regular clothing stores and try on regular clothes. I picked my kid up and threw him over my head today. He's way too old to be able to do that too. My son wrapped his arms around me and clasped his hand and told me how much he liked to give me a hug like this. I raced my kid to the car and won. I beat my kid in a game of one-on-one basketball. Then you got the other side of the deal. Those are the good ones, right? I just moved my parent into assisted living, and it was the worst experience of my life. You don't want to do that to your kids. You don't want to do that, even if you don't have kids. You don't want to do that to them. I don't. I know I don't. And I know that at some point I'm probably going to need a knee and a hip replacement for all the mileage that I put on my body from bad training. Okay? Hopefully I can put that off. Technology is really improving fast in those departments, partly because so many people are needing them. So hopefully by the time I need one, hopefully that's, 60 years from now, but still, I'm probably going to need one at some point. But what are you going to do? If I didn't do that, I guarantee it, if I don't work out for the next 20 years, every day for the next 20 years, I'm probably going to need a new knee and a new hip in 10 years. But I bet you I can put it off for 20 to 40 just because if my training stayed the same way it is now, which it won't, it'll progress, we'll all get better at how we're going to do it, and technology will get better too. So I guarantee it, I'd need one sooner. You will too. Okay? The price of not taking care of your health, it's not worth paying. Why would you pay it? The experience of your life drops. The expense of your life goes up. You lose out on all your time and your relationships, and you end up spending more money. Why would you want to do that? You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that kind of selfishness. You do not want to do that kind of selfishness. The absolute best investment that you can possibly make is in you. The number one investment that you can possibly make is in you. And you're probably going to end up spending or making more money because you make better connections at a place where other people that spend money like that do go because they have the means to be able to do it. You get around other powerful people and you become more powerful. It's the weirdest thing. That's why I went to this deal this weekend. There's the proximity to power, the amount of knowledge that was delivered. Okay, the amount of knowledge that's rolling around in my head right now is exquisite. Exquisite maybe isn't the right word, but you get what I'm saying. You want to have this. You want to have this. I cannot encourage this enough. And I cannot tell you, it is so selfish to stay home instead of go work out. It is so selfish to not take time for yourself. I've heard this so many times, like, oh, I want to see my kids. Or it's selfish of me to not go home and see it's to work out first. No, it's not. It's the other way around. It is the other way around. It would be selfish of you to use your kids as a cop-out for not going for your dream. That would be the ultimate selfishness. If your dream is to write a book, and you say, well, when the kids are older, and then when the kids are 40, you say, oh, well, I should have done it when you guys were younger, then you used your kids as for one, you probably resent them for it. Your kids resent you for making them the reason for you not going for your dreams, and yet you're still the coward that will not go for your dreams. You have to get courageous in this, and you got to push forward as hard as you possibly can. Okay, because it's not going to happen if you don't. It's not going to happen when you don't, and that's why we put out this. That's why we put out this, so that you could write your goals in the morning and your goals at night, so that you can continue to focus, you continue to drive, and you continue to push. Okay? It's going to take way more effort to move the ball this far. You got to put in 10 times the amount of effort every time. Every time. I don't know a situation where that hasn't worked out for me, where You just don't know what to do, so you just keep on working as hard as you possibly can. It might not come out. Like, I spent a lot of years just beating my head against the wall in the strength training department. I just beat my head against the wall, but it's all I knew how to do, so I was going to beat that wall with my head. Well, when I figured out how to turn the doorknob, everything just blew up. The numbers went up. My body felt better. Everything made more sense. Came a little late, but it led to really good things. Yeah, it led to a ton of really good things. But the absolute, anyway, we'll wrap this up. But the absolute most selfish thing that you can possibly do is to not take care of your health. Okay? The least selfish thing in the world, the absolute best form of thing that you can do is to chase your dreams, to get into a gym like Grit Gym, a place that knows what they're doing, because the rest of the industry doesn't, but a place that knows what they're doing, that knows how to take care of you, that knows how to assess you, that knows how to put together a program specifically tailored to you, and to go for your dreams. You're going to be, you strength train, you get your nutrition, you improve your nutrition a little bit, you start strength training, you start getting your cardio on point, you start getting your power and your speed and all these different things, you start getting your exercise on point, everything improves. Not just a little bit improves, everything improves. You become a better writer, you become a better professional, you become a better parent, you become a better son, daughter, whatever it is, niece, nephew, you become better at every single thing that you possibly do because you were courageous enough to actually put forward the amount of work that it took to actually progress to your goals. That was a lot of likes. I like those. I like those likes. But no, you guys, like, put away that selfish bullshit that this isn't meant for you. The absolute most selfish thing to do is to not take care of your health. But anyway, we're gonna sign off. There was something else I was gonna announce. There's something else I was gonna announce. I guess you're gonna have to wait till tomorrow. But thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. If, as always, if you can, please take the time, hit share, send this out publicly to everybody that you know. I'd really appreciate it. And obscurity is our biggest problem. I think we have a really good message. I hope that you guys think we have a really good message. If at all you think that even if this is a slightly good message, send it out. If you think it is an awful message, please send it out and tell everybody why you hate it so much. But anyway, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.